is emotion. You feel something. When we inhale, we are feeling. When we exhale, we are thinking. So you can, when you do like Satipatthana, at one point there is clear that when we inhale, starting to have feelings, that's like desire, inhale. And exhale is more creating thoughts. And between emotion and thought, that's what we do. And when somebody can find what is in between, is light. Is clear light. Clear light manifests. So when you find the middle, it's manifest. You start to see light. So, it is not light like this light, but it's the light of awareness. So it's a very different light. It's not just like a vision of light. It's an amazing light of awareness. Yes, yes. And that's why it's also the starting point of Vipassana. It should be light. It should lie there. So the middle way is a very specialty of Buddhist meditation. And as we said, the antidote of samsara is, we know the meaning, is Vipassana, and this self-determination is very important because, for example, in the West, there are many kinds of meditation when it's kind of imagination, when somebody is saying that you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. But in Buddhist meditation, we should train ourselves at one point. Of course, we learn the method from the master, but at one point we should train ourselves. When we are in retreat, we should be our doctor. When we are in retreat, we should be our psychotherapist. But you know, maybe in the West, everybody has a doctor, everybody has a psychotherapist, everybody has a teacher, everybody has a lawyer. So, but when we are in retreat, we should solve our problems alone. So there is, of course, there is a community retreat as well, when people are together. But the highest level of retreat, when you go alone, you are alone. I create the problems, I have to solve the problems. So that's also the specialty of Buddhist meditation. It's training to be independent, because we would like to attain freedom. That is why, even in Theravada tradition, if somebody is going to retreat, if the practitioner is sick, they don't come out till they cure themselves. So they don't come out. They are then remaining longer in the retreat because you have to cure yourself. Because this is independence. When you feel that my mind is creating all the problems, that so I can solve all the problems as well. So this is also very important. And then of course Vipassana, seeing reality as it is, like the tathata, so seeing the things. Or understanding the nature of dhammas, understanding the nature of mind. This is a specialty. If you have more specialty, I would very much welcome. Because I also do research about that. What is the specialty when you do Buddhist meditation? Because that now in the world there are a lot of kind of meditation. They're mixing many things. So purpose of meditation. So this is a kind of one of the understanding that the problem is that all beings, they want happiness and free from suffering. Every being, even plants also, animals, all the being wants to be free from suffering and wants to be happy. But if it is like that, so this is our wish, then, and karma, there is karma, then why we don't experience this? So it is every being wish, have this desire, then why the result is not corresponding? Why we suffer? What is between the intention and what is between the result? So the result is not corresponding because we have a lot of suffering. We don't know how to live, how to get birth, how to die. We don't know many things, not corresponding. And this is obscuration of mind between the two. So I have all sentient beings, all beings, they have the desire to be happy, but then they suffer. Why? Because there is obscuration. Obscuration, obstacles in the mind. And the purpose of meditation is actually to go beyond, to eliminate the causes of suffering, the obscurations. So actually, this is one kind of explanation why we do meditation, what we do when we do meditation. And of course, the other one is the Four Noble Truths. It's a very clear explanation that why we do meditation, because we want to eliminate the causes of suffering, we want to eliminate the obscurations, and then there is no problem between the intention. You attain freedom, you attain happiness, and also, of course, you attain wisdom. So the freedom, happiness, wisdom is also sometimes it is called a feature of Nibbana. So Nibbana is not just a passive state, but in some texts, also in Parikano, you can find that it's Nibbana is freedom, Nibbana is happiness, Nibbana is wisdom. And that's all being wants to be free, to be happy, and know how are the things. Because we usually don't know. If you have kind of sickness, it's usually we don't know. Why I do this? Why I was wrong, or what is the reason for that? But that's why we need this. So that's why the aim of the Dharma is to eliminate, to purify mind, eliminate obscurations. And the good news that we have to just eliminate. We don't have to develop something, but develop, of course, capacities to eliminate. And of course, the main root of all our problems is called ignorance, avidya or avijja. So that is why vipassana can solve this problem. Vipassana, when seeing these things, this can eliminate ignorance. And of course, the final result is liberation from samsara. It means that you can choose, or you can choose how to be in samsara, or you can even choose to be or live out of samsara. So that's liberation. That's our aim. So in Buddhism, there are different education models, and now we know that what is meditation terms, now we know why we do meditation, to eliminate the obstacles, but then how we do it, it's different in different schools. So the first common is the three trainings. Three higher, it's called higher training, so higher ethic, higher meditation, and higher wisdom. Why is it called higher? Because it's Lokuttara. Lokuttara is higher, Lokiya, because there is Lokiya wisdom. So there is also worldly wisdom, there's worldly meditation, can be also, there are worldly ethics. For example, the laws are worldly ethics, connected to worldly ethics. But when we are doing higher ethics, it means that it's patimokkha, it's for liberation from samsara. So this is very special in Buddhism, that the training, ethics, and so the Sila Samadhi Panya, also the canon, the Tipitaka is according to that. You cannot find it in any religion. It's very, very special, amazing, we can say. So Vinaya Pitaka is about ethic, how to train in ethic. And then the Sutta Pitaka, how to train in meditation. And the Abhidhamma Pitaka is about wisdom. When we see reality, the Abhidhamma, there is the reality aspect. And you know the four categories, Rupa, Cetasika, Chitta, and Nibbana. So these are the categories. So this is especially to Buddhism. So whenever you have to go to like interreligious conversation, we should say that we don't have a Bible like in Christianity, but our sacred canon is how is the path, about the different stages of the path. So it's about the training, it's about the developing of the path. And then in a Mahayana training, there is an opposite education model. So when in Mahayana there was the big university, Vikramashila, Udantapuri, Nalanda universities, so the training was starting with studying texts. You know, in Theravada tradition sometimes like there are some strict meditation lineages, even they don't study much, they do the practice. And then through the practice you understand. But in these university traditions, they were starting with view, it's drishti in Sanskrit, and then comes after the view. So they were studying what? Philosophies. So the main philosophical schools like Yogacara, Madhyamaka, they were studying the philosophical texts, and understanding properly Buddhist philosophy leads to meditation. So the next level was meditation, but it was called bhavana. So drishti, bhavana, and charya was the bodhisattva actions. What is the action of a bodhisattva? Bodhisattva is teaching and curing, teaching. Basically these two. So this was a different, opposite, upside down training. So first the view, meditation, and then behavior. Oh, kapunka, sadariton tao. Also, I know about word saparot. Saparot, pineapple. That's my favorite Thai word. So this you find in Mahayana. Mostly Tibetan tradition is based on, it's called Tibetan Tavago Panchapa. So the view, meditation, and behavior. In Zen, the training is based on body, speech, mind, so the CEAs, Tripara. So how you do with the body, how you do with emotions, how you do with mind. Of course, when we do meditation, we do like that. Like in Satipatthana, we have the Kaya Nusati, Vedana-nusati, Chitta-nusati, the same three. What is about the Kaya, what is about Vedana is feeling, and then Chitta, mind. So, but this is mostly this education that you find in the Zen tradition. We do, whenever we do practice, we do that, but here, like in Theravada tradition, is Sila Samadhi Panya. So we have to first establish in the rules, ethical rules, and then we are sitting on the rules. There's Samadhi, and then through Samadhi we attain the mirror of mind, and then we start to see Panya, so wisdom comes. And then in tantric traditions, there are the inner or the outer inner and the non-dual mandala. You understand? So this is the practice. In Tantra, first we practice visualization of the outer mandala, and then we do the inner, the chakras, channels, inner energies, and then we attain the heart. This is Mahamudra in Tantra. So this is the 3 steps. This is also very interesting education, whether from out we go in anyway. In any Buddhist meditation or training, we go from out to in. Like from Kaya, we go to Chitta. So we are turning inside and we go in. And in Dzogchen, we have also the 3 education, what is called Sandalong, the Upadesha. These are all dealing with the aspect of enlightenment. So they are very direct practices in Dzogchen. And this is called the Sandalong, the Upadesha, the mind section, the space section, and the secret instruction section. For example, in the mind section, in the space section, we train with space. So there is a very special way of doing also the position of the body. There are energy points you have to push during the practice, but very, very difficult practices. So these education models you can find when you read the text, and mostly it's Theravada, but we find everywhere. There's 3 ethic meditation behavior, but this is mostly for Mahayana, this is in the Zen, this is in Tantric teachings, and this is the Dzogchen teaching education model. So there are different approaches, how we can eliminate the obstacles. So the famous 2 meditation methods, you can see this is universal in all the Buddhist schools, is Samatha Vipassana. This is everywhere. And in Theravada tradition, there was the Orang Kammatthana. Maybe you know the Orang Kammatthana, the old Kammatthana, old meditation system. It was based on Samatha Vipassana, so the Samatha levels and the Vipassana levels. But now is this tradition, they went back to the original Buddhist teaching, is the Satipatthana Vipassana tradition. And now most of the Theravada monasteries you can find the Satipatthana Vipassana. Many different kinds of Satipatthana methods. It's very interesting here in MCU. Also there are some teachers. Also I am a collector, collecting the meditation methods. And they are very interesting, like Korean Satipatthana, and also there is a Tibetan Satipatthana, very interesting methods. And yeah, but now there is this way of Satipatthana, Samatha Vipassana in Theravada system is, I think it's a very special and very good way of developing. So developing Satipatthana awareness and then go to concentration and then Vipassana. We'll have a break, but we have to go. So Mahayana is the Sanskrit term, Shamatha and Vipassana. Shamatha is the jnana paramita. So when you are like a paramita jnana, you want to understand that where is Shamatha? Shamatha is jnana paramita. There are 3 levels of Shamatha there. In jnana paramita, the first level when somebody is attaining the jhanas, using the state of bliss, because in Shamatha there is bliss, clarity and emptiness. So no thought, clarity and bliss. You use it for reducing suffering. That's called the first level. In Mahayana, so jnana paramita and prajna paramita is vipassana. So prajna paramita text, like the Heart Sutra is a vipassana text. So it's not about concentration, it's about wisdom. And in Zen, the Shamatha and Vipassana is done together. It is impossible to do together because you do Shamatha or you attain Vipassana. But in Zen, there are special methods when you can do together, but it's really high level. So nowadays are very popular in the West, the Zen traditions. But it's interesting because, for example, there was the Suan Hua, who was a great Zen master, and he attained enlightenment when he was doing 16 hours of prostration a day, and the remaining 8 hours he was sitting. He was not eating, not sleeping. So doing Zen is first seems very easy, but at one point it's because you need to do together. It means that you are concentrating, but you open the heart at the same time. Because Vipassana is connected to the wisdom of heart, and then Samatha is more for concentration. But doing together, that's the specialty of Zen method. And in Vajrayana, we do the Shamatha with visualization, mantra recitation, and Vipassana with the yogas. So, and in Dzogchen teaching we can also find, but it's connected to enlightenment. So, the difference is, when we do Shamatha, we are focusing, so we reduce space. We are stopping everything, stopping thoughts, stopping emotions. Also the breath stops, also stopping the body. In Shamatha is very important, the body should not move, the eye should not move, everything should stop. In Vipassana is opposite. Vipassana we are training with space, should spacey. So there are really difference between the Shamatha method and Vipassana method. So let's see this slide and then we do break. How you feel? Too much information? No? Okay? Okay? No problem? No sickness? Meditation? Information sickness? So this is also a very good topic to do research about Samatha Vipassana, because in Theravada practices or canon you can find some places and explanations, but it's quite rare. Because mostly in the Theravada text you find Satipatthana and the four at the base of Satipatthana. So the defilements. When we go that way, that we want to be happy, free, and so, and then what is the problem? We can understand defilements. But the traditional understanding of defilements, the problems are, you can understand through the Four Noble Truths. That's the top teaching. This was the first teaching, and that is the last teaching of the Buddha, Shakyamuni, so the blessed one, the top teaching. So that is why the Four Noble Truths was, if you check the Pali Canon, it was only a teaching for the trained monks. The Buddha was never giving this teaching to the lay people, because it's a very high level of teaching. Interesting that now if you go to Wikipedia or anything, it is said the basic teaching of the Buddha. It's not the basic. It's the starting point and the end point. This is the highest teaching. You know, the Four Noble Truths, when you read the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, is at the end. So the Four Noble Truths is before enlightenment. You understand really before enlightenment. And also the Four Noble Truths, the last stage before enlightenment. When the Buddha Shakyamuni, it's not the basic, it's not the starting point. And when he was giving this teaching to the 5 disciples, then one was enlightened, Kodanya. Kodanya attained enlightenment. So it was something really very, very high level, because they were trained in meditation. So they opened enlightenment. So that's, I always try to also express, to give back the fame of the Four Noble Truths. It's not the fame, because in the West, for the basic teaching of Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths, and this and this and this. And I am a little bit against of Bhikkhu Bodhi, because Bhikkhu Bodhi was translating dukkha as stress. And then I would like to ask him, what is the noble truth of stress? Stress has no noble truth. Stress is bad. Nothing noble in stress. Dukkha means out of balance. When there is, you are out of balance, and that's why there is happiness. It also can be dukkha. You know the 3 levels of happiness. The dukkha. There is dukkha, dukkhata, and that impermanence of dukkhata means the happy. We are happy, but it is finishing very soon. Yeah. That is not stress. So happiness is also kind of dukkha, and also the 5 skandha is dukkha. It's not stress. So I think dukkha is also a very important term to understand. It's not just simply stress, not just suffering, because there is also the positive dukkha, and then the neutral dukkha is the 5 skandhas. So the Four Noble Truths is like really something very high. And the aim of experiencing the first reality, the first Noble Truth, is to understand what are the causes. Because when we do meditation, we don't practice with suffering, but we are trying to practice with the causes. We try to eliminate the causes. The third Noble Truth, to elimination of the causes. When any practice in Buddhist meditation we do, is because we do the defilements, the causes, the obstacles. You know, there are many names. So when you try to find out what is the problem, okay, then what is the problem? What are the causes of suffering? There is 1, 2, 3, 4. The one is sometimes it's called tanha. It's more connected to desire. Then sometimes it's called ignorance, avijja. But mostly in Buddhist texts, it is said the root of all problems is ignorance. So that is why vipassana is the practice to dissolve this problem, because we clearly see things. So if you say one cause, you can say this most ignorance. If you say 2 causes, ignorance and tanha, so avijja and tanha, or ignorance and thirst, but you know the tanha has usually 3 kinds of tanha, the kama tanha, bhava tanha, and vibhava tanha. You don't find many explanations about that. So when you find, for example, there is a big Bible, new Bible of Buddhism, is the Venerable Payutto book of the Buddha Dhamma, and when you check it, there is not much explanation about how is the 3 tanha. And when you also try to find out in the Theravada canon, it's a difficult topic. Sometimes the Blessed One was teaching very difficult topics, like the dependent origination. Very, very difficult. And one time there was a case when the Venerable Ananda was smiling, and the blessed one was asking, why are you smiling? And Ananda said, because I understood not the dependent origination. And the blessed one said, no, I don't think so. It's, even for you, it's not like that. And the Sri Tana is also very difficult. That the last Tana, of course I know many explanations about it, that the Vibhava is, what is Vibhava? We want to die, but we don't want to die. But actually Vibhava is a kind of explanation. So the Sri Tana is, there is a Sabha Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, there are some expression there. So, but usually there is an ignorance, hatred, desire. These are the three kind of obstacle or causes of suffering. And you know there are some animals, the other thing is called the Bhava Chakra, the three animals in the center is the three, this kind of causes of suffering, causes of samsara. And, but there is one, which is the four Mara. The four Mara. In Theravada tradition, sometimes five Mara, there is a Mara Samyukta also, there are texts connected to the Maras. But then later in Mahayana, it's crystallized that there are four Maras. So one is the outer, one is the inner Mara, one is causing thoughts, one is causing dreaming state, and then comes the Skanda Mara, which is about identification, Skanda, Upadana Skanda, so the attachment, and then is the Mara of ignorance. So I like this explanation very much because you can understand also meditation, how we do meditation, because how we eliminate the four Mara. It's called the Machu Mara, Kilesa Mara, Kanda Mara, Devabhuta Mara. So these are the obscurations. Also can be a very good topic for thesis to research obscurations, obstacles. What is the second noble truth? Second noble truth is a very, very good topic, because then we understand what is the real obstacle. And we can do the break now. And then we go to emotions. Okay, so this is, you can observe the Maras in the break. How they are. And we can talk a little bit after the break. We will have just 2 slides and then some practical things and Q&A, so we can do a question and answer session also. Thank you very much. And 10 minutes break is okay? 10 minutes? Okay.
Move my head.
Yeah. His face.